Sulma, we thank you so much for your time. Thank you again for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today. Well, first of all, I think I want to really ask you about your art. And I want to know, first of all, thank you so much for displaying your art here. What inspired you to want to be an artist?
There's a lot of things that inspire me to be, a painter. In our family, we have a lot of painters. My dad, my uncles, they paint, and something that always inspire me. It's because I can express my emotion. I can paint how I feel in this moment, and I can talk with people through my paints. And you can paint everything you have in mind, and that way you're gonna tell people
Hmm.
how you feel in what happened in your past. It's because some people just see the paint
Hmm.
or the canvas and they just see what was happening in that moment. Because there is a lot of painters that can read what you paint. So that's something that inspired me to do it. I don't have to talk to people. I just have to paint
Hmm.
and paint. And also when I am in a lot of stress
Right.
and I'm painting something, so I feel good. I feel comfortable.
Hmm.
It's something really good that I really enjoy doing it.
That's awesome. So painting then for you is like a way to express yourself. Is essentially.
Yeah, it's a way that I can express everything I feel.
That's awesome. Yeah. So when did you get in? Like, when did you start painting? Like, what did that come? Were you always a painter, or did you come later on in your life? When did that come on?
I think I started painting when it was at my country at school.
Yeah.
I think the third grade.
Okay.
I started because I like I like poem.
Poems, you said?
Mhm.
Okay, that's cool.
So I do poem and I do like when what means the poem, but painting.
Hmm.
What the poem means for me.
Okay.
So I was doing that on my country when I was in my country.
So from poetry to painting, that's how painting got started. First you were into poetry, and then you went into painting. So you spoke about your country. What country are you from?
I'm from Honduras.
Honduras, you said? Okay. When did you come to America?
I came here when I was 60 years old. It's
16,
been like 9 years.
9 years. Okay. What made you want to leave your country and come to United States?
Well, I came here because in my country there was nothing for me to do there.
Okay.
I was not treating, not a good treating. So I was not living a good life. So that made me think, oh, maybe if I go to Wednesday, I'm gonna have a better life. And everybody was talking about in the United States there is better choices. You can go to school, and also you can work because work in our country is not. You work harder, but not good.
Mm, mm. So the American dream,
Yeah, but it's the American dream.
the American dream is kind of like
And
what?
everybody thinks that it's easy
Yeah.
and that we're gonna, find the money in the streets.
Yeah.
That's what they think, but it's not.
Is okay. So it's not like that. Is America the complete opposite of what you expected? Is it somewhat similar to what you expected? Out.
It's harder to live here because in our country we don't use to pay a lot of bills like here. We don't. We only have to pay only for the air here, but in our country you don't have to pay like gas,
Hmm.
water. Or sometimes you have to pay, but it's not too much like.
Hmm. Interesting. So it's harder.
So it's good if you work here, send the money to your country, and you're gonna have a better life here.
That's good.
And you in our country you feel free, but in this country you feel like you do every day the same thing like a robot.
Yeah.
We work and work. Sunday we do the things that we have to do at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, I think it's really interesting that you say that because I'm from Nigeria, and I'm an immigrant. Yeah. Right? And so you're a refugee. Immigrants and refugees are somewhat similar, but different at the same time. But as an immigrant from Nigeria, I have family members in Nigeria that think that, me and my family over here, we're living in like ivory towers and palaces and mansions and stuff like that. And like, it's not anything like that. Right. So
the reality is
It's just totally not at all. It's just not what, no. But yeah, so coming to America, right? Can you maybe talk a little bit about that journey, right? Was it hard? Was it tough? Was it hard? Was it, how was that journey like for you to come from Honduras, you said, right? To the United States.
Um, it's not easy.
Mm.
It's hard. Cause I remember I came on December 10.
December 10th, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
2016, December 10. I was happy
Yeah,
because I was, I left my country and I was thinking about the American dream.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So first of all, you have to pass through two countries. I passed through Guatemala and then Mexico.
Mm.
So I passed Guatemala
And how old were you at this time when you did it?
16,
16 years old. Okay. And you are how old now?
24.
24. Okay, good.
Yes.
So 16 years old when you were making this.
Yeah,
Right.
16 years old, traveling along through Guatemala and then through Mexico. That was something not easy.
Wow.
But I was never, I never think about a way back or they gonna, send it back to my country.
Yeah.
But it was not easy, that journey.
Wow.
All the way to Guatemala, it was fine. But then when I got into Reynosa, that was terrible. That was a bad experience
Really?
back there. Yes.
Reynosa, you said.
Yeah, Reynosa.
Okay.
Yep. They kidnapped me
Yeah.
in Reynosa for about a month.
Mm.
So I was crying and I was scared because they showed me a lot of things like guns and things like that. So what do you want to think about? Hey, they're going to kill me, they're going to sell me. They was asking for a lot of money that was not on my pocket, either on my dad's pocket. So that's why when I called my dad asking, hey, they're asking for money, he just hang off the phone and he never knew.
Yeah.
As a result, everything. So he left me alone. So they sent me to another dark room. And I spent like 2 weeks in there without not eating, no water, crying, screaming. But I was, I was never like, I was brave because I was trying, but the same thing, hey, I was thinking positive.
Mm.
I was praying on those in those moments. I was praying and just saying, hey, God, help me. I don't know if I want to make it through, but I wasn't never thinking I will go to a country. Never thinking about it. I was thinking just, this is going to pass. This is going to pass. Everything was going to be fine. In this moment, one night, this guy, he tries to touch me.
Sure.
And of course, that made me feel really angry. So I got into a fight with him. And they was saying, hey, this girl, we show her a gun. She's not scared about it. Because, I was really mad because they was trying to touch me. So I got into a fight.
So fight, yeah.
Yeah, so they was like, we have to be careful with this girl because she is strong.
She's the real deal.
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the horrible thing that happened to me. But you see now, the telling you the story is the first when they asked me when I arrived to the Southgate houses at El Paso, Texas. They asked me what happened to you back there when you was coming to your. I was not able to say it's. I was crying and I once I was quiet, but then they got me into therapy, so that way, they made me feel comfortable talking about it. Because sometimes you have to talk how you feel. That way, you're gonna leave everything behind.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, what a story. What a story. That's incredible. I mean, first of all, I'm happy that you're safe, right? That's the first and foremost thing. I'm happy that you're here. Especially just to think about you being only 16 years old when this was all happening I can only imagine just kind of like the fear, like that was going on in your mind at the time. But I'm happy that you're safe and I'm happy that you're here. So now that you're here, you're 24 years old now, looking ahead into your future. What does your tomorrow look like? What are some of maybe your goals looking ahead into your future?
Well, my goal is to be a good mom, raise a child
Yeah.
for my son, and I want to be a nurse.
Nurse.
Yeah,
Okay.
nurse, baby nurse. It's gonna be hard because I still not have papers like a green card.
Sure.
But I know, I believe like one day they're gonna say me, "Hey, your green card is here."
Yeah.
So that day I'm gonna feel good
Yeah.
because I know there's gonna be more ways. Because when I tried to go to the LCC, right?
Yeah.
And they told me, "Hey, you need a social, you need this," and I'm like, I still have not, no, I still have not my green card, and that made me feel so bad because there's a lot of they offer me a lot of jobs, but because I have no papers, that door just I just closed the door. Sure. But I believe in God, and I believe that one day they're gonna give me. They're gonna say, "Hey, your green card is here." So I don't last. I still have hope that everything can be possible. So I'm just being patient and waiting for that day. And that day, I'm gonna make a big party. Yeah, and that's how I'm gonna celebrate making a big party
Yeah.
because it's been, 9 years without
Yeah.
no social, no papers. So it's something that is not easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just, wake up every morning. I go to work and I think positive, looking in the past, and I say, this is better than what I was living in my country.
Mm.
So that made me feel there's still time. I'm younger. So I just don't, I'm just gonna wait for it, and then I'm gonna make what I want to do.
Mm.
Because I have a lot of advantages. I can still paint it because I like paint.
Yeah.
So they offer me this job at my kids' school, but because no paper, so showing them how to paint. Because there's a lot of kids. Even my kid, he likes to paint.
He likes to paint.
He wants to paint a lot, so I'm teaching him. Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. Well, I think what you just said kind of made me think about the question that I was and you might have already answered it, but what the toughest thing about being a refugee in the United States is. And I think maybe you touched on that already, just that uncertainty that you feel on a constant basis of, and the inability to do some of the things that maybe you want to do, of waiting on your green card and your papers and so on and so forth. But is there anything else that you can think of that makes it really difficult to be a refugee right now?
Well, first of all, making a living in a different country is something that is not easy because for those people that live family back in our countries, it's not easy. For me, family, because there was no family. So that was easy for me. But coming to a new country without not the same language, not you feel like you're not fitting in
Right.
with all the others in this country. That's something that makes you feel like a little chicken in the box, trying to go out but not going. So we have to learn the language. We have to be social, but how we can be social without without know the language?
Sure.
We cannot. So we have to learn the language. That way we can communicate with other people. Sometimes you're shy, so that's something that is not easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not. You miss your family.
Yeah.
Those people who always do like party, everything in family, and here you alone. Thanksgiving, we're alone. Because when we do parties in our country, it's party means
Everybody.
family.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here you
Yeah.
Christmas alone.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think the dynamic of America versus
Yeah.
it's Latin
We're
America.
different cultures.
Yeah.
We're more like together, doing everything together. We share everything with family.
Sure. Yeah.
Share your family, your around family. That's being alone is good.
Yeah. 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 Well, I suppose it can be sometimes, until it gets lonely.
So you make your own family, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. When your English is spectacular, I will say that. I mean, brilliant, almost better than mine English.
I don't think so.
I think your English is great.
I try to learn every day, and none of them.
How many languages do you speak?
I only speak Spanish and English, but
Spanish.
hopefully I'll learn another one.
Okay.
I like languages.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the communication with other people
Sure.
outside. Maybe I want to go to different countries, so
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna learn Portuguese,
Portuguese. Okay.
and I want to learn it's it's the Korean language.
Korean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
That makes sense.
Sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, my favorite soccer player is from Portugal, right?
Who's your favorite?
Take a guess. Anybody here wants to take a guess? No.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Good job.
That's
Yeah.
right, Ronaldo.
It's my guy. I love Ronaldo. But I digress. This guy said Messi over here. No, but well, that's good. So you want to travel, you want to learn other languages and stuff like that. That's
I want to learn new things, but I still have time to learn new things. Everybody learn new things, even old people.
Yeah.
Every day going to.
Yeah. So you're a 24-year-old refugee living in the United States. You live in Michigan, obviously, and you have a son. How old is your son?
4 years old.
4
I
years old.
don't know. He turned 5.
Oh, you just turned 5.
He just turned 5 on July 19th.
Can you maybe talk about how it's like to take care of your son all the while everything else is going on with your life and so on and so forth? I mean, because it's difficult enough to be a single mom, but to throw in the dynamic of being a refugee from another country and still waiting for your papers and stuff like that, does it make things even more complicated?
Yeah, it is complicated, but it's not something that you cannot true. That's how I look at it. So being a mom is not easy, but it's depends how you make it look like.
Sure.
Sometimes it's gonna be harder times. The harder thing is when you're here and you have kids and you have to go to work and you have to find somebody who has to watch your kid. That's something really difficult. Or if you're scheduled to work and school doesn't work, you have to find somebody who's going to get after you. So that's the harder thing.
Mm.
But now, thank to God, I have somebody who, they must pick it up my kid, but there is another kids
Sure.
that he goes with. So now it's easy.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Last question that I'll ask you. What do you, if there's one thing that you can tell America, maybe the world, whoever, the country, about just to be able to maybe understand our refugees a little bit more who are coming into this country and to be able to maybe help refugees more, what would that be? That would, if there's one thing that you might want to tell people about.
Be patient.
Be patient.
Just be patient, and we are new in country, new everything, so it's gonna make us a little bit longer to fit in this country. What else? Let's see. That's a lot, but right now, because I'm nervous, I forgot it.
Well, I think the patience is very important.
Be patient, because or find those people who only speak English and you have kids in your home from our different countries.
Sure.
Just find somebody who speaks the language. That way, kids will be in communication.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's the harder thing. The first of when I came here and I was like trying to translate what I want to go to the store, but how I'm going to do it. So language is a first.
Right.
And kids, obviously, kids that are younger than how I was, it's more difficult because they miss their parents, so they're always shy. So for kids, little kids, it's hard.
Sure. Yeah. Well, Sulma, thank you so much for, again, your time and your willingness to share your story. You are such an inspiration. I mean, seriously, I think I speak for all of Samaritas when I say that you are an inspiration. We're just so blessed to be able to have gotten to know you and to be able to, again, care for you over this time. So thank you again for sharing your story with us.
And maybe one day I'm gonna write a book.
Hey.
Tell everything.
Yeah.
The first day I came into this world.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll be the first to buy that book. I just want everyone needs to know that.
It's gonna be a lot of fun
Yeah,
and sadness.
yeah,
Everything. You know, there's just everything.
that's awesome. All right, cool. Well, thank you again, Selma. We appreciate you.
Or invite me and doing this.
Absolutely.
This is something that I'm not sure, to do it, but something that now I realize I like it.
That's awesome. Round of applause for everybody.